So here's a crazy, dramatic way that me and the narcissist finally broke up. Well, the narcissist had been married before. Come to find out, the narcissist had been married 3 times that I was with. And me and this guy, we were together for years. I'm talking about 15 years. We were together, living together off and on. We were doing couple things, showing up together, breaking up to make up, all of that stuff in there. And this, throughout the relationship, the man was cheating, and I kept taking him back every time. Because then finally I got tired enough, I started cheating myself. You know, they'll push you to do things, but no, I can't blame that on him. But I just wasn't getting what I needed from him, and so I started going outside of the relationship. But this was down toward the end of the relationship, okay? I mean, the very end of the relationship is when I started going out, and I was like, you know what? I just got to start living for me now. Because we had stopped having sex. I had not had sex with him in 7 years. And I had to stop because he was with so many women. I was afraid, and I didn't even know if he was with men either. Because sometimes he acted like he was with men, but I can't confirm that. That's alleged. I finally just accepted that he wasn't going to be the man for me. And at the same time, I was like, but you going to still stay with me. You go out there and do what you need to do, but make sure you come back here. Oh, that was the stupidest idea. Where did I get that from? It had to be off one of them blues songs. You know, as long as you bring it back home to me. You know, as long as you come back home to me, you can go do it, whatever you want to do. And that's what I was saying to him. And I stood by that for that last 7 years. Well, what happened was, the last year we were together, remember I said he had the 3 wives. So the third wife, or was it? Yeah, it was the third wife. The third wife was in prison because whatever him and her did together, he had to go to prison too. But he went to a different place and got out before she did. And when he got out is when me and him had met. And I didn't know he had been in prison either. He kept a lot from me. I learned as I went. So she got out of prison after serving 9 years. Was it 9? No, I think about 15 years. She served about 15 years. He got out of prison. He had a child by this woman, and the child was grown. And he signed away his rights. He gave the child up for adoption, and pretty much that was it. I thought that was going to be it. I didn't want him to get the child up for adoption, but he chose to do that. I begged him not to, but he chose to do it. Anyways, it was one day he had came in, and I was like, you acting different. He started back dressing up. He started, smelling good again, keeping his hair done. I was like, somebody really got his nose in the air. Well, I didn't know all this time he was going down to, I'm not going to call the name, but a person's house to meet this woman. And I didn't know. All this time I'm sitting back like, I don't know. Because I'm here doing my own thing. So, it didn't really bother me. But then, it came a time when I had to go to the same place where he was at. And we called ourselves getting back together. And I got down there and we was at this cookout. His family cookout. This woman pulls up and they say, y'all better tell Jamie to go to the back. And I'm like, tell me to go to the back. What's going on? What's going on? Kept telling me to go to the back. So finally I go to the back. And I said, what's going on? And they said his wife is here. His wife? They said, yeah. He never divorced. I said, but I thought y'all told me he was divorced. He never divorced his third wife. To this day, they still married. That woman walked in the house and somebody told her that I was there, which I had my suspicions of who that was. I know exactly who that was, told her that I was there because that person kept begging me and begging me to come down there that day. And so, because they wanted to see some drama. Anyways, uh, even thinking about this sometimes it's just the trifling spirit that's behind this is like, oh. So I say, well, I'm not going to run from her because I don't even know her like that. And I ain't done nothing to her. She want the man. She could take the man because I did not know they were still married. And if I would have known they were still married, I would have never slept with that man. Never let that man in my house. See, he didn't have a house. He came to my house. I never would have let any of that take place. So this woman walks in. She said, I come to get my husband. And everybody looked at me like I was about to fight the woman. No, I'm not about to fight the woman because rightfully he is hers. He belongs to her. They the ones married. I was just a side chick. So I ended up being a side chick for 15 years unknowing this man was married because everybody told me, including his mama, said he was divorced. Flying monkeys. Flying monkeys will lie for the narcissist. And you would think that it's the truth what they're telling you because of the titles that they hold or because of they will bond with you first. And then once they bond with you and get to know you and get to know everything they need to know about you to take back to the narcissist, then they rip into you. They tear you up. They tear you apart. I was so torn apart that night. I didn't trust nobody from that moment on. And from that moment on, that was the last time that I stepped foot down there. When I told that woman you could take your husband, I stood on it. I stood on business with that because I love God. And I know the man God has for me, he ain't got no wife. So I came home and I cried about it and I got on with my life. I moved on. That's how I ended up studying all this stuff about narcissism because I needed to know how to get over it. How do I get through it? And everything I was trying was not working. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a faith believer. But sometimes we be praying for the wrong thing. I was praying for the Lord, help me get through this. But I wasn't asking him, Lord, how do I get through this? What are the steps I need to take? So when I changed my prayer up to, Lord, what are the steps I need to take versus just saying, just help me get through this? Everything started changing for me. But that woman, she got her husband. And they didn't stay together 2 weeks. They couldn't stand each other. But by then, he had lost me completely. Because all I needed to know was that he was married. And I was gone. Now, sad to say, that's the kind of narcissist that I attract. Is married men who want to say that they're not married. Because I've dated two guys long term. One was for 10 years and one was 15 years. And the one that was 10 years, come to find out that he was married in El Salvador. Never hinted a clue or anything. And then the one that I got with over here for 15 years, I got to tell y'all a story about how he kept promising me that I was going to get married with all of them did. You know, he never told me that he didn't divorce. He was saying that he divorced. And that little half a relationship that I was in, that one really broke my heart right there. He played it so well that he was getting divorced. He even gave me a date and everything. And I was like, okay, well, we can't talk till you do. And he said he was divorced. And I didn't say show me no papers or anything. Come to find out he was just as closer with his wife than he ever was. And I just, So at some degree, we do have to blame ourselves for being so gullible We do have to blame ourselves, even though it's not totally our fault, but some of it is our fault because we be so ready to get into a relationship to brag about who we got on our side or who's standing behind us that we don't take time to learn who the person is. And I will admit, the those 3 times the narcissist got me was because I had an alternative motive to love. I wasn't looking for love. I was looking for a way out of other situations. When I got with the guy from El Salvador, I was looking for a way to get away from my parents. When I got with the guy that wife came and got him, said I come to get my husband, I got with him in the beginning because I was trying to get away from the guy that was from El Salvador. And then the other guy, the third guy, I got with him because I was trying to get away from the guy whose wife came and got me. So either way it went, I played a part in that. And those are the things I had to learn to stop condoning.